Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of AWS She Builds Tech Skills North America. I'm your host Jigna Gandhi. I'm a senior solution architect at AWS and I support fintech customers in North America region. If you're new to our program, let me tell you a little bit about it. Our mission is to shape a more diverse future in technology by bridging the cloud skills gap and creating opportunities for underrepresented groups to excel in this industry. We spotlight incredible female tech talent and highlight the significant impact they are making in this industry and their businesses. If you missed any of our previous episodes, you can catch up on all of them on our YouTube channel. Today's episode is going to be very exciting because we will be featuring two insightful interviews I had the pleasure of attending at a recent AWS conference. But before we jump into that, I would like to introduce my fantastic co host, Claire. Claire, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Jigna. Hi, everyone. For those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Claire Holly, and I lead a team of solutions architects here at AWS in the financial services insurance segment space. I've been with AWS now, wow, can't believe it's over 4 years. And I actually reside in New Jersey, but I am based out of the New York City office. So today we're actually at the AWS New York City Summit. I mean, it's kind of like at the Jacob Jarvis Center. It's kind of like a big deal. So, I mean, I've been to multiple ones of these summits before. And last year we had a great experience where we partnered with what they called Women of the Cloud. And what we did was we interviewed not only our customers, but also some of our executive leaders here at AWS. And everyone got to share their experience on how they handle diversity, or just how they made sure to create an inclusive environment for people that work at both AWS and at their companies. So, Jigna, what about you? What has been your past experience being here at the summit?
Yep, I would say I have been very lucky that I got a chance to attend in last 3 or 4 years. This year was amazing as well. With lots of new technology announcements and exciting sessions. I got to attend keynote speech, which is the best. It was from Dr. Matford, our VP of AI products at AWS, and he talked about how to harness data as a strategic assets for secure and responsible AI development. I also got a chance to hear from Daniela Amodoi. She's a president and co-founder of Anthropic. She announced right at the summit, she announced a fine-tuning capability of Anthropic Cloud 3 AQ, and it's their fastest cloud-effective model, and it's now available for preview under Bedrock, which is really, really exciting because I know that's one of the highly awaited feature. We are going to be sharing, more around this and our overall learnings with you, but we'll do that towards the end of the show. So stay tuned. I also listened to one another really interesting conversation from Mona Chadda. She's a director of infrastructure ISV at AWS. She talked about our aims to integrate various partner types, including our independent software vendors, consulting partners, and distributors into a unified marketplace approach. She also highlighted the significant impact of generative AI on AWS and its partners, and how our partners are, increasingly incorporating these technologies into their products and services. Claire, anything else you would like to mention?
Glad that you mentioned listening to Daniela, because a lot of our customers are really excited that they can leverage Anthropic through Bedrock. So really exciting. One of the things I also want to say is that during the conference, we get a chance to interview people, just like how we mentioned we did last year. One of the highlights for me this year was the opportunity to showcase two incredible women leaders in technology. I had the privilege of not only meeting them, but also participating in their interviews. So their stories and perspectives were truly inspiring, and I'm excited to share these interviews with you today. We'll be showcasing these conversations, offering a unique glimpse into the minds of these pioneer women and their impactful work in technology. So, Jigna, do you want to introduce the first recording?
Yeah, sure. So our first guest is going to be Nicole Nunziata. Her conversation has been truly inspiring. She started her technology journey as a system engineer, and she's now head of technology risk and controls at Varo. And I'm so much excited to share her interview with you today. I'm going to be posting her LinkedIn that you can connect with her directly. And let me play the recording. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chikna Gandhi. I'm a senior solution architect at AWS. And today we are in New York City attending New York Summit. This is a great event where we showcase latest in the cloud innovation and bring together the community of our customers, our partners, and peers. I'm representing AWS Shaber's Tech Skills North America team today, and we highlight amazing women leaders and the impact they are making in their role in business. I'm joined by two incredible people here. First, Jarius. He's Director of Solution Architecture at AWS North America, and he will be co-hosting with me today. So thank you so much, Jarius.
You're welcome.
And we have Nicole. Nicole is a head of technology for risk and controls at Varo Money, and we are so much excited to have you here, and we want to learn so much about you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. To start with, can you tell us a little bit about what your role entails at Varomani and how your career journey led you to this position? And maybe if you can also share us what's Varo's core mission.
Well, right now I'm the head of technology, risk, and business controls, as well as the manager for the developer productivity team at Varo. And I'm in charge of the software development platform and making sure it's compliant and aligns with regulatory expectations for the banking industry, and also is efficient and effective for our developers. The mission at Varo is to make financial inclusion available for everybody. So it's a really great mission. It's very mission-focused company. What led me to Varo is I've been working in banking for many years, and I wanted to work at a place that brought people up, that helped them become good stewards of their financial journey, have good credit scores, and be able to take advantage of everything that this country has to offer.
Awesome.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Nicole. I do love that what you just phrased, the financial inclusion, right? And how you bring people up. First question to you is, how does your organization remain focused on its strategic priorities and goals among this really evolving landscape that you're facing?
That's a really great question. We have actually strategic goals that our CEO sets out for us on an annual basis. We have a quarterly planning routine where we develop a roadmap and key objectives to achieve that quarter. Then after the quarter's over, we inspect and adapt what we achieved and did we achieve those objectives? And we make adjustments to that roadmap. And the roadmap's very product focused, very customer focused. And we make sure that what we're delivering really satisfies those customer needs.
Got it. Got it. As a woman leader in this financial services industry, maybe if you could share with us a little bit about some of the unique challenges you face, being that female leader that, you've grown through your career and how you leverage that position to influence positive change.
One of the things that I think women specifically face during their whole career journey is taking a career break, either to care for young children or for other family members. And that's something that I experienced. I took a 4-year career break after I had my second child. And I had to really make sure if I was going to come back into the technology space that I kept my skills up to date and that I kept networking throughout that career break. And when I am interviewing other people, I deliberately say, if they had a career break on their resume, I do not discount that. And not only are they providing valuable services, maybe to their family or to another area, they're still developing its skills. They're still growing as a human being that can bring those skills to the company. So when we're interviewing, I look for those opportunities to include those people who might be discounted in having a career break.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. We all face these, type of, life changes that we go through. But I really like your approach and how you look at it. Like, okay, you took a break, but during that break, you actually kept your skills where you needed them to be, and you kept that networking, right? Which is awesome. So to expand on that, as a leader, how do you approach talent development and investing in your people? mentorship at Varo, at the bank. And particularly what I'm looking at is for women and underrepresented minorities.
Absolutely. Something I do when I mentor people, whether it's a woman or somebody else, is I encourage them, whatever you're working on, your projects, your programs, align those with the strategic objectives of the company and be able to explain how that impacts that objective. And so often people accept projects or they accept roles that don't have an impact to those strategic objectives. And to me, that's really key in growing your skills and growing your presence at a company, is to be able to influence and have an impact that for our products, for our customers. So that's where I really kind of direct people when I'm mentoring or I'm developing my team members.
I love that. You know, we all have that type of ownership when we get excited. Hey, this is a really nice project. I'm going to jump in. But how does it really align with that strategic objective and where the company is going? I love that. I love that. So maybe to expand a bit on that, what advice would you give young women who aspire for leadership roles?
There's something really specific that I did, and I looked for people to network with, either network in other areas of the company that I didn't have exposure with, or mentors, leaders that I really admired or inspired me. And whether they were male or female, I sought those people out and I asked them, I said, can you share with me your insights, share with me why you stay at this company, share with me what your growth objectives are. And that gave me some ideas. Maybe if I didn't use those specific ideas, I could build my own plan around that.
Yeah. Actually, I really like that a lot. And it just kind of gives me back some memories as I went through and I was developing as a leader. It's that type of a mentorship circle you have around you. And that type of networking that you need to have that can help you do better at your job and do that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And as a mentor, I look to mentor people who are in other areas of the company, and they share with me and I share with them. So it's a two-way street. Also, I look to read any content that interests me in the industry and look to share that with other people. And even when I was much earlier in my career, I subscribed to various newsletters and journals, and I would share it with my boss. I would share it with other leaders. And that was kind of brought me along in what their thought processes were and what ideas I could bring forward from the industry. So that's another piece of advice I would give young women or anybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Love that. Jinga, anything else you want to have?
Yes. Thank you, Nicole, for sharing your amazing learning and experience with us. I do have one question, because coming back to the event, the exciting event that we are having, can you tell us what's your experience so far at the summit and any specific topics you wanted to attend, and what is your plan to take those learning back to Varo?
Absolutely. Well, I came to this summit specifically because of the focus on Gen AI. We are looking actively in our company to bring Gen AI use cases and how we can use it for our customers, for internally, and to bridge kind of the knowledge-based gap with new people who join Varo. So I came to look for that, and I found several great examples, not only on the expo floor, but in several of the breakout sessions.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's amazing.
It's very cool. Well, thank you. Actually, that's the right area to focus on these days.
I think everybody had to work that into their breakout sessions somehow.
That's great. Really great having you here with us, and we appreciate you taking the time and to share your journey and your experience and your advice to young women out there and people who are aspiring to become leaders.
Excellent. Well, I'm very glad to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Claire, what do you think?
Wow, that was actually amazing. I found Nicole's content very informational and intentional, and I really did appreciate that. One of the things that resonated with me was how she doesn't discount when individuals do career gaps. And that's really important because a lot of times you will find that as a woman, sometimes you do take career gaps just because of life changes. I think she also mentioned she took a time off when she had her second child, but just also care for somebody. You never know what can happen. And I truly appreciated that she doesn't discount that because you're also managing something while you are taking that gap. And the key thing to that was that also keeping up with your skills. So that's very, very important. And what I would look at is that while you're away, while you're taking a break, there's always an opportunity for training. There's online training, there's certifications, there's various things that you can always help to make sure that you stay up to date with technology. One thing I would also think about is that a lot of companies, they do think about this nowadays because they're trying to build an inclusive environment. So they have programs such as like a returnship program, right? And what that does is at some companies, they'll have a pilot program where if you have taken a career break for maybe a minimum of a year and have at least 2 years experience, they will actually, if you get hired, they'll put you into this apprenticeship, like an internship program for 16 weeks, where they reintroduce candidates into the workforce and give them the opportunity to get back acclimated. So I think it's a great program. A lot of companies, they do have it. So I would advise people to really take the time, look and see what some of these companies have, because they do understand there's these life balance that actually happen with people. And we're trying to figure out how we can keep people and retain them. Jigna, what actually resonated with you?
I wish I can say +1 to everything that you mentioned. But I would say the biggest thing that, resonated with me was not just resonated, but, like got me like more confidence is, it's okay to take break, because it's not a break actually technically, because you are actually doing something else, which is equal priority, right? You're still, you still have an opportunity to, build your network or maintain your network and, focusing on the skills. I think that's really amazing.
I definitely agree. So the next video that's coming up. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Subha, who is the head of Cloud Transformation at the Hartford. It's truly inspiring because she has been there for about 17 years. She also started as a systems engineer, as a Java developer, right? And she took on various different roles before she became the head of Cloud Transformation at the Hartford. She's actually one of my customers, so I do have a lot more information I could share, but I won't. The one thing that resonated with me with her when you speak to her, she's very passionate on being intentional and cultivating a diverse environment. And you'll definitely I'm sure you'll all definitely get that feeling once you hear her video. So why don't we bring that on? She builds tech skills in North America. For those of you who are not familiar with the program, the purpose of the She Builds program is to create an exclusive, supportive tech skills development program that enables both women, people who identify as women, as well as people in unrepresented communities, in order to empower the next generation of leaders in STEM. So today we are actually here at the AWS Summit at the Javits Center in New York City. How many guys have you been? Have you guys been here?
Many times.
So have you been here many times? Yeah, I mean, he's
all good.
What about yourself, Subha?
This is my first time.
This is your first time?
I'm
we got a
impressed.
newbie. We got a newbie.
Right.
For those of you I've not met before, my name is Claire Holly, and I'm a solutions architect leader for the financial services in the insurance segment. And I'm joined today with my co-host, Subha. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am the director for financial services for solution architecture for North America.
Thank you. We have Subha, who is actually going to introduce herself. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Subha Elumalai. I am a Senior Vice President of Technology at the Hartford.
So Subha, we're super excited to have you here. I know that Subha was also recently on our women's panel, in which case it's funny that she's just here with Sudip. So I guess you guys are like bosom buddies now.
Right.
This is the second time you guys are doing this. But I mean, why don't we jump right into some of our questions? Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and what your role is here at the Hartford, and what has led you to get to this position?
I started my journey as a software engineer. Gosh, it feels so long. But believe me, I wrote my first program in Java. And I've done a variety of roles across architecture, program execution, leadership, and then moved on to a CIO role. I've done iterations around a couple of businesses as a divisional CIO, and then moved on to my current role where I'm leading the enterprise cloud transformation for the Hartford. It's a multi-million dollar initiative over 5 years where we have an ambitious target to meet certain North Star goals. So that's my current role. Very, very excited to play this role and transform the place.
Outstanding. I want to thank you again for sharing your journey with us today. Quick follow-up to that. So it's a rapidly evolving landscape. How does your organization remain focused on achieving its strategic goals?
Hartford, thanks to our CEO and our executive leaders, I think has been always committed to forward looking from a strategic standpoint and always has the long term mindset in view while having relentless focus on servicing our customers. As you know, our Hartford's mission is underwriting human achievement. We're very, very focused on helping our customers during their tough situations, right? When they are having a claim, how do we make sure we service them immediately? Having said that, we do businesses across a number of domains. We have property and casualty insurance, we have personal lines, and we have group benefits insurance. So we leverage technology a lot, and our goals is always about how do we still ensure that we are staying ahead of the curve in the insurance industry and making sure our goals are enabled by technology. So if you look at the last few years on ensuring we build contemporary technology for us to stay ahead of the curve.
It's outstanding. I like the long-term thinking and also the investment in innovation as well that we're seeing. So what emerging trends in technology and financial services do you believe will probably have the most significant impact in the industry in the next 5 years? And how is Hartford preparing to leverage these trends?
Actually, it's interesting to see how technology continues to evolve and bring new capabilities into the marketplace. Something we don't think about in a certain point in time becomes a reality, and then it changes the way we approach things. So I'm going to touch on few technologies that are really, really relevant. I won't say they are all emerging; they've been in place, but very, very relevant. So think of Internet of Things as an example. Huge one for us to leverage in our construction industries or in our property insurances, where we can be much more proactive in managing our risks. Like water sensors in big construction places is a huge one for us because leakage is the biggest reason for a claim. So if you're making sure that we manage those, that's huge for us. And then second would be, of course, I won't say it's emerging because it's almost a decade now, but leveraging cloud, as you can see, being very, very aggressive on cloud for past several years by moving on to SaaS solution or building cloud first, and now going even more aggressive on migrating and modernizing a huge technology footprint on cloud. I think will enable more nimbleness and agility. I'm sure I'll be remiss if I don't touch this topic, Gen AI.
Really?
Which exactly. Everybody has to talk about it these days, without which a tech conversation cannot end. But I do think the opportunity that it presents is a lot, whether it is making smarter decisions, leveraging Gen AI in your underwriting or your risk scoring or processing your claims better or using those language processing in the way we manage contracts. So there's a number of use cases that I can foresee where if we are smart enough on understanding where the potential opportunities are, we can use all these technologies to our advantage.
That's awesome. The investment in both IoT and I also see with Gen AI, I think the cloud will help enable it to accelerate, I think, adoption of those particular areas as well. So that's outstanding to see. Changing it up a little bit, how do you approach talent development and mentorship, particularly within the Hartford, particularly for women and underrepresented groups, to ensure a diverse and inclusive workforce?
It's very unfortunate that I feel we don't have enough women representation as I would like to see in the industry. I think it's a really fun industry. It gives a nice balance. Somehow when I speak to young women, I don't think tech industry is something they see cool. I don't know what, but they use tech every day in their life, be it their social media, smartphones everywhere. And I think it has to start from multiple stages. first would be making sure, even from a student level, we encourage our girls to actually start getting interested in coding or tech field. That's why I love the program Amazon is doing with She Wills.
And what's great is I think partnering with you is that we learn as well.
Yep.
And I think we can share kind of the areas that we see great synergies in helping to potentially accelerate women in technical roles. So kind of what advice would you give to young women, or particularly when we're talking about leadership here, women who aspire to leadership?
I would say first, whichever field you are in, make sure you build depth. For young talent, I always say that because depth in any area is very, very important. And that's what helps you as you grow up the ladder. You can continue to build breadth, but you need to be strong. And that enables you for the T-shaped leadership that I feel like constantly keeps you relevant in the long term. Other than that, I would just say that be bold. Never hesitate. Don't worry if you're the only one in the room and everybody around you is men. It doesn't matter. You're there for a reason and you have your own caliber. So you can be on your own. You don't need a ton of people around you for you to be strong. And it's okay. As we continue to do our little bit, one day there will be more of us in the room than the other.
I definitely agree with you 100%. So, that was such great feedback and very inspirational for our viewers. I mean, this has been a packed week for you. A lot of our viewers don't know, but you also participated in an executive briefing here at AWS with us. And now you're here at the AWS Summit, your first one, right? Can you tell us a little bit about what you learned from the summit? I mean, what are some of the things that you liked? Were there specific sessions that you planned on attending? As well as, what do you think you're going to take back and try to implement at Hartford?
Thank you. Claire was with me yesterday as well on the EBC, and yes, that's what she's referring. It was a very intense and packed session. It's always good for us that, as I said, we are in a cloud transformation journey, and I'm in year 2 of that. So we partnered with AWS, and we wanted to understand from them as to how we can accelerate, how we can innovate more than what we are doing. And interesting that the summit's theme is also very similar. They were trying to showcase to us in terms of what many of our peers or industry peers or outside of our industry are doing in the space of innovation. How are they leveraging some of the contemporary technologies, emerging technologies, and some are even futuristic technologies, which probably they are the first use case partnering with a new tech startup that's assessing something, or a big organization like AWS or NVIDIA. It's awesome to see what many other organizations are doing. What it enables for leaders like me is it makes us to think about horizon 3, if you will. In our day-to-day job, I think like most of the time you're horizon 1 because that's what your day job. Sometimes we pause and look back, we look at horizon 2. But I think these events in my mind really helps me to think horizon 3 are truly in the future. So what I'm going to take away from this is, how do we take some of these innovative ideas back and see, can we experiment these as well? I think that's the big takeaway for me. And the second thing is a personal challenge is, man, I need to continue to read and learn a lot.
No, Subha, thank you so much. This has been, thank you for sharing not only just your journey, but your experience, as well as what are some of the things that the Hartford is doing. I mean, it's great to hear from women leaders, and that's why we have this She Wills program. We want to make sure to educate more women in the tech field, and it identifies women as well as underrepresented communities. So again, Subha, thank you. Sadip, thank you for being on our show. And thank you to our viewers. Thank you for watching. So, sign off from She Wills Tech Skills. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, Claire, that was amazing.
Yeah, what did you think, Jigna? I mean, I went first the last time, so I think it's only right that you go first this time. What were your thoughts? What resonated the most with you?
No, I really enjoyed this conversation. I was actually on the audience side, when you were conducting this interview, but I really I picked up some really exciting insights from this discussion. I love the fact, she mentioned about how technology is always evolving and, bringing amazing new capabilities, Internet of Things, cloud computing, and obviously, let's not forget generative AI. It's making huge waves with, smarter decisions in underwriting, risk scoring, and so many other processes. I'm part of fitness segment here as well, and I have seen with my customers also, so many advancement happening in documentation automation, contracts writing, technical integration, and so many much of more. I actually read a very interesting article around it, which I'm going to be posting here. It talks about how generative AI is helping analysts to perform financial statement analysis, hypothesis testing, and cost effective analysis. So I think it's a really good, interesting read. Um, Other than that, I'm also in agreement, with her advice to build deep expertise and be bold in seizing the opportunities. I just loved the statement she made. Don't worry if you're the only woman in the room. You're there for a reason. I think that was really inspiring. Um, and I would say I also liked about when she mentioned about importance of talent development. It's all about being intentional with coaching, sponsoring, partnering, right? When I joined Amazon almost 3.5 years ago now, I also was a part of 3 month training program here for solution architects. I got a chance to before actually working for my customers, I got a chance to practice my skills, shadow my peers, learn from them like how they are doing conversations and everything. I know we at Amazon we also have some other amazing programs. Claire, any specific ones you would like to share to our audience?
Definitely. I remember that same program. We all went through it.
Yes.
One of the things I just want to touch on is that Subha also mentioned about depth and being able to have that technical ability, like have that ingrained in you and that focus, because once you have that depth, it can actually take you anywhere. And a lot of companies, they do have these various programs. We're collaborating with some companies and doing an upskills training program. And what we do there is that we work with our customers to help with that talent development. Because as customers are actually migrating into the cloud, that's a lot of new services, a lot of new technology that they're not familiar with. And we want to make sure that we keep that knowledge retention. So we work with our customers to have these upskill training programs with them to help them during their cloud journey. Another cool thing is mentorship. One of the great things about the AWS She Builds program is that they provide a mentorship for women or people who identify as women if you are over the age of 18. And what they do is that you get paired with an Amazon employee, and you do not have to be an Amazon AWS to be the mentee. A mentee could be located anywhere. The program is global, so we have it based on APJ, we have it EMEA, as well as North America and LATAM. Unfortunately, the program has just started for this year, but don't worry, next year we'll make sure to highlight it on our page so that way people can sign up and fill out an application. It definitely goes very quickly. Another thing we actually have too is called the Inclusion EBC, and this is something that we've been working with several customers, because customers always want to hear about how we help them solve their solutions with technology. But we start to find that depending on the customer, they're also curious about how do we handle retention? How do we handle acquisition, talent development? What are we doing here? And at AWS, we have certain mechanisms that we put in place to, I'm not going to say we have it 100% right, but these are some of the things that we know have worked for us. And definitely anybody has questions on these programs, feel free to email us at any given time, and emails will come up in our banner or you'll see towards the end. So Jigna, I know that we kind of gave people a little teaser in the beginning of the show. Why don't we tell them about some of the recent announcements that came about at the New York City Summit that you actually liked?
Yeah, 100%. There were actually so many of them, but to highlight a few because I was really eagerly waiting for those to come out. The first one I would love to mention is guardrails for Amazon Bedrock and how it adds hallucination detection and a capability to have customized guardrails across any model, ensuring responsible and trustworthy outputs. I know that has been a huge ask from many of our customers. The next one I would love to mention is agents for Amazon Bedrock, and now it offers memory to retain the user context, and it also has the code interpreter to dynamically execute code snippets, which is wow, amazing. I think it would be really helpful for be it data analyst or you're doing something on the visualization side, or maybe you're doing something on the complex problem solving. Claire, any other thing that you want to highlight?
So what I've been hearing about a lot from our customers is Amazon Q for apps, in which you can craft generative AI apps from conversations using regular natural language and approved data sources. So you can actually customize these securely shared apps specifying data sources per card and new APIs for programmatic app management. Another cool service is AWS App Studio, in which you can effortlessly build apps with AI powered low code tools, enabling organizations to create secure custom apps in minutes without dev teams. So, a lot of customers are looking for that no code, low code, and we have a lot of them, whether it's AI ML or when you're even leveraging Gen AI. So, there's a lot more. And honestly, you can really go to awsamazon.com new. We always do our what's new there so you can see everything that gets released. So definitely check it out. If you enjoyed the AWS New York City Summit or if you missed it, don't worry. We have the Toronto Summit that is coming up in September. So if you live in the Canada area, please make sure that you check it out, followed by our reInvent, which is our annual conference that happens every year in Las Vegas. Normally it's at the end of November, but this year will be in December. Definitely looking forward to that because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new announcements. And then you can always go back to that What's New link and see what came out of that, what was a result of the conference. In our next episode, we have our show that will be aired on August 20th, where we will showcase our future engineers. So we had several engineers, people that participate with us in the summertime. You'll get to learn about their experience working at Amazon this past summer, and they're going to share what it was like working on cutting edge technology. So thank you guys for participating today. I hope you guys learned a lot. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to always email us. You can always like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye. Signing off from She-Bills.